It's The Log. I'm Charles Purcell. And tomorrow is Halloween. Halloween! Happy Halloween, everybody. While I'm thinking of it here, let me remind you the Log Halloween special. 1 hour Halloween special we did last year with the whole gang. Uncle Chuck, Chucky Bucky is there. Art Smart from Art Smart's Dart Mart. Not the real one, the fictitious one that we have in our radio plays. So it's radio theater, it's improv, all on the Halloween theme, scary stories. Oh, it's so much fun. So that's available now at charlespurcell.com. Go listen to it. If you subscribe to the podcast, it's on the list. Look for episode 39. And if you want to listen live with other people, I always say I think that's cool to be part of that communal experience with other people. It's going to live stream at midnight tonight at riverwestradio.com. That's riverwestradio.com. Midnight tonight, Central Time, is the live stream. So you can share that experience with the multitudes. The Log Halloween special, Fear, Death, and Desire. I didn't get around to making a new special this year. I don't know if we'll just let that one stand. We'll play that every year. It'll become a tradition. It'll become a holiday tradition. Or maybe I should be like The Simpsons and make a new episode every year. Knowing my level of laziness, I think maybe we'll go with the first option. We'll just play the original special every year. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you'll join us for that. It's a lot of fun. And it's a blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Yeah, it's a blue moon tonight, the second full moon of the month, so that makes it a blue moon. And it's a Halloween moon, and it's also a hunter's moon, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. We haven't had a blue moon on Halloween. Well, any full moon on Halloween is going to be a blue moon by definition because it's the second full moon of the month. So it's a little redundant. But anyway, a full moon, blue moon on Halloween hasn't happened for 76 years. 76 years? How about that? All right. Let's see, 76 years. I'm not good with math in my head. I have gone to my computer to, 1944. 76 years ago was 1944. Was the last blue moon on Halloween. All right, now I'm curious. The top song of 1944 on October 28th through November 3rd was You Always Hurt the One You Love by the Mills Brothers. You always hurt the one you love, the one you shouldn't hurt at all. And add 3 more guys, this 4-part harmony. Oh, the Mills Brothers. If you're not familiar with the Mills Brothers, do yourself a favor. Go down the YouTube rabbit hole, listen to all the Mills Brothers' greatest hits. They're fantastic. Great vocal quartet. And 76 years ago, the last time we had a blue moon on Halloween, the top song coming out of your radio was You Always Hurt the One You Love by the Mills Brothers. All right. Yeah, I love the Mills Brothers. There's your recommendation for today. You're welcome. Oh, what? Hey, it's Fish and Wildlife Service, and of course the Orange Menace Administration, has removed the gray wolf from endangered species protections. Because that's what they do. So naturally, the site I want to go to read about this is NRDC, the Natural Resources Defense Council. On this kind of thing, you want to go to them. Headline: Fish and Wildlife Service robs gray wolf of endangered species protections. Of course, if you look at the administration's press release, it's going to be all sunny and cheery about why this is a great thing. And any of the deplorables will say how great it is. And most of the news outlets will indulge in both side-isms. Well, critics say that it shouldn't be done, but it's good this way and it's good that way. And anyway, yeah, NRDC. Though isolated populations have rebounded since the 1970s, the once ubiquitous species is far from fully recovered. Let me read a little bit of this to you. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service today finalized a rule that strips gray wolves of their federal endangered species protections in the lower 48 states, excluding one small population of Mexican wolves in the Southwest. You cannot have a national wolf recovery without putting forward a national wolf recovery plan, says Sylvia Fallon, Senior Director of NRDC's Wildlife Division. This still has not happened, so eliminating federal protections for gray wolves is a huge setback in recovery efforts. Wolves are still missing from much of their remaining habitat in the West and throughout the Northeast. Gray wolves once roamed nearly all of the contiguous United States, from California to Maine, but the wolf's threat to livestock, which, by the way, can be resolved with non-lethal methods, as well as its perceived danger to humans, made it a perpetual target. By the middle of the 20th century, the species numbers had plummeted as a result of a coordinated government-funded extermination program, leaving only a few hundred wolves left in remote Minnesota and Michigan. Though the federal government recognized the species as endangered in 1973, FWS never developed a complete national recovery plan, as is required under the Endangered Species Act. Instead, the agency has continued to focus on just 3 gray wolf populations, those in the Northern Rockies, Western Great Lakes, and the Southwest. In fact, there is still plenty of suitable habitat left in areas such as the Southern Rockies, parts of California, and the Pacific Northwest, and, notably, the Northeast, where the wolves have struggled to gain hold. Decision makers are prioritizing politics over science, Fallon says. As we face a biodiversity crisis of global proportions, it is imperative for us to recognize that this isn't just about wolves. The fate of humanity is intertwined with the fate of species and healthy ecosystems. Now is the time to restore species to the landscape, not dial back efforts. Unfortunately, the administration has decided on the exact opposite. So, of course, what else would you expect? Well, first of all, this is going to get no traction at all as a story. We just can't seem to wrap our heads around what's really important because we're so busy flapping our gums about the most recent sensational catastrophe. But as we mention from time to time, it doesn't take too many steps to go from the current headline. You ask a couple of why questions, and pretty soon you're getting down to the nub of things. So, for example, the coronavirus is raging out of control. A couple of why questions. Just think of yourself as the little kid who keeps asking, well, why? Why is that? Why are people sick? Why did they get sick? Where does the virus come from? All these really simple questions a kid would ask. So here the list of questions quickly goes to, why do we even have diseases like this? What happens? Well, it's about the way humans interact with the non-human animal world. We are in such a deep crisis, an existential, spiritual crisis about how we live on this planet. And booting the gray wolf off the endangered species list is this perfect crystalline example of how we are so blind. Yeah, because wolves are going to attack and eat cows. Okay? That's just in their nature. But does it occur to anyone to question why there's so many damn cattle in the first place? I mean, talk about going down rabbit holes. You go down multiple rabbit holes here. You could go down the why we shouldn't be raising so much cattle rabbit hole. How that's bad for our health, how it's bad for the planet. Land use. We keep spreading and spreading. With houses being in danger, now it's Colorado making the news every night. These big, beautiful houses out in these great mountain forests where they never should have been built in the first place. They shouldn't be there. It's completely unnatural for them to be there. Fire is natural. Trying to fight back the fire because you're trying to protect a house that never should have been there in the first place is unnatural. This is why my two favorite candidates going back to the Democratic primary were Marianne Williamson and Andrew Yang. They're both a little nutty, but the two of them were the only ones who seemed to have a grasp on bigger ideas. And most importantly, had a grasp on connecting dots, connections between stories. So now it's open season on wolves again. And it's a 10-second headline, and we just go right on by it. And except for the good people at NRDC and their ilk, no one else is going to give it a thought. So, yeah, if you graze a bunch of cattle out where wolves used to roam freely, you're going to have a problem. But the solution isn't to let Don Jr. and his buddies go out and shoot wolves in the head. Are wolves a danger to humans? Well, yeah, they are. But again, this is like the houses in the Colorado mountain forests. We're spreading out into areas with our beautiful luxury 12-acre estates. And suburbs continue to sprawl. I thought that was a 1950s, 60s, 70s problem. It continues to be a problem. Are you kidding me? We're still sprawling? We haven't learned this lesson over 50 years? One of the reasons that conservatives are in favor of this gray wolf off the endangered species list is because they're endangering deer populations. Well, these are the same people who say, well, we have to have hunting of deer because it thins the herd. Well, which is it? You got to save the deer from the wolves, they're natural predators. You got to save the deer so you can go out and shoot them in the fall. We are so severely anthrocentric. We just have to be at the center of everything. It's all about us. It's about the nice houses we want to live in. It's the nice vacation places we want to go. It's the hunting we want to do. It's for sport. And I'll say this till the day I die. I don't give a damn about your culture. If you're out shooting animals for sport, you and I are going to have a problem. It's just all about humans all the time without even any enlightened self-interest. How it might even be in our self-interest if we had a healthy planet. And it's not just about the wolves. Wolves are an amazing link in the ecosystem chain. They actually make their prey stronger. So their natural prey would be deer, elk. When wolves are at their full strength, they keep the elk and deer herds down. They keep them moving. This is an amazing thing. Introduce wolves back to their natural levels. The entire ecosystem benefits. Let's see. Let me read to you from a site called Green Tumble. Why are wolves good for the ecosystem? As a large predator, wolves play a key role in regulating populations of other animals. Without them, the balance in those ecosystems is upset. A 2001 study, for example, found that when wolves went extinct in Yellowstone, the moose population increased by 5 times and ravaged the woody vegetation which birds need to nest. As a result, several bird species were eliminated in the park. What's more, wolves benefit other animals like scavengers. Because they hunt down their prey, wolves leave leftovers behind that are the key source of food for a number of other species such as ravens, magpies, bald eagles, golden eagles, weasels, mink, lynx, cougar, grizzly bear, chickadees, masked shrew, great gray owl, and more than 445 species of beetle. But wolves' leftovers also benefit the soil. For example, studies have found that wolf-killed elk carcasses dramatically enhance the levels of soil nutrients and nitrogen. Wolves can also play an important role in limiting the negative effects of disease. Deer and elk congregate in smaller groups when wolves are present, which helps reduce the risk of transmission of illness, like chronic wasting disease. Okay, does this ring a bell at all? Again, the very definition of the word ecosystem. It's all about the links. It's all about connecting the dots. And we're part of this. We have to think of humans as part of the ecosystem. Continuing to read here. Chronic wasting disease. This disease is a major threat to elk and deer. Wolves also help by reducing sick animals' lifespans and in turn limiting the amount of time they have to spread infections. Similarly, tick-borne encephalitis is a serious lifelong disease with no known cure. A Swedish study found that an increase in the numbers of red fox was correlated with an increase in the number of human cases of TBE. But with wolves able to regulate the number of foxes, researchers wonder whether the frequency of human TBE could be reduced by restoring wolf populations. All right, so they talk about this Yellowstone reintroduction. Since the reintroduction of wolves to the national park, they have created a chain of positive changes in the local ecosystem. This is often referred to as a trophic cascade effect. With wild wolves roaming the grounds, the elk and deer have become stronger, the aspens and willows are growing healthier, and the grass taller. This happens as a result of a series of chain reactions started off by the presence of wolves. For example, when wolves hunt elk, the elk are forced to run faster and farther. As the elk run, their hooves aerate the soil, allowing more grasses to grow. Since wolves are hunting them, the elk cannot remain stationary for too long, and as a result, aspens and willows in one area are not heavily grazed, and therefore can fully recover between migrations. Few of us would think that the presence of wolves could trigger this set of positive reactions, but the improving situation in Yellowstone is testament to the importance of wolves. It's crazy. The article finishes up with coyotes and how wolves also regulate that population, making the world a better place for eagles and osprey, which are also making a comeback in Yellowstone. So there you go. The gray wolf off the endangered species list. A small story. You might hear a headline in 10 seconds on the news. Just so indicative of who we are and how we behave in this world. And as far as the larger, more immediate headlines go, well, so today's Friday. That means Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days until the election ends, voting ends, and counting begins. Just reminder again, don't even think about mailing a ballot at this point. Way too late to mail a ballot. I don't care what state you're in. I don't care if courts, oh my God, the courts, making rulings just yesterday again in Minnesota. Changing the rules after 80 million people have already voted. The news we talked about yesterday regarding North Carolina and Pennsylvania, that could still be overturned even after Election Day. The Supreme Court left it open. So the decision was, and we all thought it was good, okay, they're going to allow votes to be counted if they come in, if they arrive after Election Day, as long as they're postmarked on or before Election Day. So this is good news, but anywhere from 3 to 9 days. So we thought this was great news, right? But the Supreme Court left the question open, and they said, yeah, we might come back to this on Election Day or the day after. So on the night of November 3rd or the morning of November 4th, SCOTUS can weigh in again and say, yeah, no, we'll change our mind on that. Everything that comes in now is going to be tossed. They left themselves that option. So don't anybody within the sound of my voice think at this point about dropping a ballot in the mail. Do not do it. Go to a drop box. There's still early voting. Depending on what state you're in, it ends today, is the last day to early vote in some states. So know your state, know your rules, and of course, the day of, November 3rd, still the day of, and there have been the longest lines. Oh, mercy. The lines are going to continue depending on where you live. You got to be prepared. Bring a thermos with you. Bundle up, because you might be in that line for hours and hours and hours. All right, not telling you anything you don't know. Oh, I've added another song, the most obvious one of all, of course, Dancing in the Street. Talking yesterday about our playlist. I'd love your suggestions. charlesburcell@gmail.com. Give me or come to the Facebook page. I need your song suggestions, song titles for our playlist for the night of November 3rd in case we're all very happy for some reason. We're going to be literally dancing in the streets. And I had a few suggestions about songs of celebration that we should have on our playlist. Celebrate, celebration, I just want to celebrate, and dancing in the street. Martha and the Vandellas, right? Is that right? Everyone around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat? We'll be dancing in the street. So, yeah, let me know your suggestions for our Dancing in the Streets playlist. And if things go badly, especially if it's very close, if the Orange Menace declares victory, and then all the Republican skullduggery kicks in and the courts kick in and they try to squash the vote, stop counting, then we also have to hit the streets. So, as we've been saying here, good news, bad news, whatever news, we should plan on hitting the streets Tuesday night. Because if they try their shenanigans, we have to en masse say, nope, that's not going to happen. No, 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 no. The surveys, the polls are holding steady. The numbers are very steady, as they have been for months. Very little movement. So we'll see what happens there. But my biggest concern is the threat of violence from the right-wing militants. There are plenty of them. Voter intimidation, voter suppression. Here's something interesting. I saw an ad on television a couple nights ago from Glenn Grothman. Glenn Grothman is a Wisconsin member of Congress. And he's rated, they do these rankings, as the most loyal Trumpster in Congress. Number one on that list. And what I found very interesting was he ran an ad that not only didn't mention the Orange Menace, but the ad went out of its way to paint Grothman as an independent. I mean, this guy is a hardcore, deplorable conservative Republican. And he's trying to portray himself in the final days as an independent who stands up to both parties. I found that very interesting. And every day we see more headlines about this or that member of Congress breaking with the Orange Menace. No Republicans up for re-election are coming right out and bad-mouthing the guy. But they are definitely, many of them, distancing themselves. John Cornyn, Republican senator from Texas, good example, has been talking about, issues like the border wall, the deficit, which used to be a great concern to Republicans and will be again. The minute Joe Biden is declared the winner, if and when that happens, count on it. All of a sudden, the deficit, for the first time in 4 years, is going to be this huge concern again for the Republicans. But, Cornyn of Texas, others I've seen, really walking that tightrope as how to talk to voters here in the final days. They can't badmouth Trump, but they can't get in bed with him either. Oh, it's a tightrope. So as much as we're interested in, as we should be, in the presidential race, the state legislatures, the entire House of Representatives, many key Senate seats, McSally, Jamie Harrison has a chance of beating Lindsey Graham. This is going to be something. By the way, I promised you yesterday that I'd check out the whole Facebook room thing. All right, I'm here to confess, I'm such a total idiot. when it comes to some of this stuff. I'm really sorry. I know I'm a dope. I'll try to figure it out. I will. I'll try to figure it out because I want to be able to invite you to join me on election night because this is going to be crazy. There's going to be so much to watch, so much to talk about, and I need as many of you with me as I can get. I want to share the experience. Everyone around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat? Dancing in the street. Okay, get out and vote. Call up your friends. Remind 5 friends. Remind 10 friends. Ask them if they've voted yet. No more mail-in ballots. That's all over now. Drop them in a drop box. Vote early. Or find out where your polling place is for November 3rd and do it there. Be prepared to stand in a long line. You may have to. Let's get this thing done, everybody. And happy Halloween. Again, go to charlespurcell.com, and right on the front page there, I've got the log Halloween special, Fear, Death, and Desire, waiting for you. Or listen to the live stream tonight at the stroke of midnight Central Time. And you find that at riverwestradio.com. That's riverwestradio.com for the live stream tonight at midnight Central Time. Hey, you know what? We've got a little bit of time. Let's play a little excerpt from the show. Let's tease it here. This clip here is from the party. They're having a big old Halloween party, and they're taking turns improvising verses for their little Halloween jam.
Oh my goodness. Baco, take a verse, Baco. Like Halloween more than any holiday in the season. And I think if you want to hear a reason, because it's the time we can all be bad and naughty and not feel guilty. Hey, he kind of sounded like Tom Waits there at the end. Oh, you know, he does a Tom Waits impression. Hey, Baco, do your Tom Waits impression. Okay, man, here goes. I never said that it was going to be Halloween tonight. Boy, it's going to be so much fun. We're going to put on a big old fright. I'm going to wear my costume, my mask, and you're going to see my baby tonight. I love it. Gonna have some candy corn, some Twix, and some Snickers, and Reese's Bar. You're going to love it again. Oh, that was great, man. That was just he does Tom Waits. Oh, we fool around with that all the time. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, who's next?
Sing a verse, Grandpa.
Oh, we're going to verse. Halloween. Gonna make you scream. Gonna wear a frightening mask. Is all I ask is that you give me some candy corn.
So there it is, a short excerpt from the log Halloween special, Fear, Death, and Desire. It's posted right now at charlespurcell.com, or listen to the live stream tonight at midnight Central Time, riverwestradio.com. All right. Have a great Halloween. Have a great weekend. Talk to you on Election Eve. Monday. Talk to you Monday. Wow. Here we go, man. Here we go. Woo!